To parliamentary questions from the Democratic Alliance, Higher Education Minister Buti Manamela said over the past decade, only some 500,000 of the 1.5 million students who have registered for business studies at TVET colleges successfully completed their studies. This means nearly 1 million of those who had registered failed completion. Speaking to News 24, Dean at the Faculty of Education at Stellenbosch University, Professor Mbulungeni Madiba said the success rate statistics were worrying, and he joins us now for this conversation. Thank you so much for your time, Professor Madiba. TVET colleges are seen as the alternative to universities. So why are we seeing these worrying figures?
No, thank you very much, Mr. Mnisi, and to your viewers. Yeah, it's a worrying factor because these statistics have been presented by the minister. But then, if you look at what the TVET colleges, the performance looks like, it is really concerning. But we have known, for long that TVET colleges are not doing very well. Not only in most of the areas, not only in subjects like mechatronics, which are very, very difficult. But the post-school sector, even universities are not doing that much great. So the numbers are very, very worrying, especially for this sector. The TVET colleges, this should be the backbone of skills development in South Africa. And when you look at the big number admitted in these TVET colleges, then you see that it's like a revolving door. The students are not finishing on time. They are delayed in some. The percentage is quite dire, especially in very specialized area, highly specialized area like mechatronics, which is key to develop the digital skills that we need. So that is very dire. Many students are not really in some, for example, in KwaZulu-Natal, they don't even have that program run in TVET colleges. And then Limpopo, as you can see, 123 only pass through out of 1,259. And then you go to Northwest, again, the number is worse. You look at Gauteng also, the number is very low. So you look at the Northwest and Western Cape here, only 32 pass out of 6,926 for mechatronics. And then you can look at all these other programs that we are saying, business studies, administrative, management, finance, marketing, and entrepreneurship, and so on. So the numbers are not really good. But my main concern really is with this kind of technical skills that we really need. Other subjects like administrative, management, finance, the universities are offering that at a more high level and so on. But what we basically need in this country, these are digital skills that we need. Mechatronics integrate electronic engineering, mechanical engineering, computer, and that integration, we really need that for that sector because that's where innovation should happen. And then comprehensive universities will offer more theoretical, more other things. But these more practical skills that we need, they should be happening in at TVET colleges. But that is not happening. So I feel, Linda, that our country needs to be aggressive. We really need to invest. If you look at countries like China, you look at countries like Germany, how they have really invested in this sector, then you can realize that we haven't really done enough. So I will really appeal because the reasons that their lab infrastructure is very poor. There are no computer labs there. Equipment, as I said, staffing. We don't have teachers in this country who can teach really, TVET colleges. Our colleges of education are not able to produce this kind of teachers because we don't have facilities and so on. So we need huge investment. I think this is what I can appeal to government. We need huge investment to this sector.
Yeah, so how do we bridge that gap in resources? You speak about investments and it all boils down to the budgeting, right, and what is allocated to these higher institutions of learning.
Yeah, unfortunately, the budget for higher education, it's cut every year. It's always reduced. It's going post-school education, the investment, it's cut. Colleges are reducing teachers. So I think we really need to prioritize. Prioritizing means to say that, yes, there are many other demands that are requiring attention. But unless you get your education right, unless you get your citizenry to develop the kind of skills, the 21st century skills that will set us in competitive level with other countries. We are going to be left behind. I mean, we're talking of AI now. Most of the jobs that we are doing manual are being replaced by AI. Now, if our citizenry are not in that space, so we are left behind. We are left behind. Progress will be slow. So we have got this youth population, which is really, to me, it's a blessing that we've got many young people. But these young people are not developed enough. We need to make sure that we invest. So what I'm saying is prioritization. Yes, I know government will tell you money, we don't have enough funds. We don't have, but we need to prioritize. So I will really say that, let's prioritize the TVET colleges. Let them, even the curriculum, because the problem, I'll tell you one other thing, is that the curriculum that you find there, it's not, there's no progression. Students are stuck. If you go to TVET, you cannot progress to another comprehensive university. You are stuck there. If you look at the American system, there are colleges of education, 2 years. But after 2 years, we need to work on the curriculum. This is important. We need to work on the curriculum. We need to invest on staffing. We need to prioritize infrastructure. Unfortunately, we had buildings all over the country before 1994, which were colleges of education. So those colleges were allowed to collapse. We should have retained those buildings and make sure that we convert them into TVET colleges and then put the equipment there. But now we have to start from the scratch to build those structures. So prioritization, I think that's what I can say, Mr. Mnisi.
Yeah, we've run out of time, but I quickly want to ask about, the broader impact on the economy, because TVET colleges are seen as that gap between education and employment. South Africa has a high unemployment rate, and if students are dropping out and not finishing courses at TVET college level, that will obviously affect the job market and the skills that can go into that job market.
Yeah, it has got a huge impact on the economy. You see, when we talk about the growth of the economy, it's not growing in terms of just people who are highly educated in other. It's growing in these small sectors. If we produce students with this kind of skills, these students are able to create jobs for themselves. They don't just need to go and queue for jobs. They are able to queue the plumbers. They are able to open their own small shops. You know that in this country, look, people are repairing our computers. These are people from outside. Our cell phones. We can't even have people who can repair cell phone screens. That you have to get somebody from outside and so on. So this creates a huge market. I think that is where, if you want to deal with the unemployment, we need to invest on that level, because they will create their own job. They will employ 1 or 2 people who are assisting them and so on, and will get the much needed skills that we need. So I think to grow our economy, we cannot just grow our economy with comprehensive universities, with the professors and so on. We need to grow our economy with that sector. So I will appeal to government to say, look, yes, we don't have unlimited resources, but we can prioritize that sector. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Dean at the Faculty of Education at Stellenbosch University, Professor Madiba, talking to us about, nearly 1 million students dropping out and not finishing those courses. In fact, the stats that I have before me show that, for example, between 2015 and 2024, in Limpopo, they had about 238,000 enrollments, but only 62,441 completed in those business studies qualification. Quite concerning.